Welcome back to another episode of the Change Officer podcast GITEX series, where we will be introducing you to the companies, leaders, and their ideas that are shaping the future of this region by engaging them in conversations to uncover the how behind their magic. In this episode with me is Gregory, founder of Natufia. Gregory successfully exited his business around 10 years ago in real estate. And then started looking for something that's going to drive him for the next 10 years to come. And in search of something new, something impactful, he started Natufia. Hi, Gregory.
Hi, how are you? Thank
Good.
you for having me here. And
I'm excited to see you here, especially at GITEX. After a while, we're getting again live.
Yeah, finally, it's like we have been 2.5 years without, show anywhere, so it's nice to see the crowd again. We feel we live in a normal world again.
You're exhibiting right at the GITEX?
Yeah, we exhibit the GITEX. We're presenting our machine and our new prototype that will come out next year as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking more about the company that you're running now, and you are on the mission to, let's say, can we say, disrupt the distribution chain of fresh food?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. If I go back why I started this company, I bought an olive plantation about 10 years
That's
ago.
an interesting story that I would like to just briefly bring closer to the audience.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was just when I exit, one of the investment I made, buy an olive plantation. That's how I got involved in the agricultural business. And after the distribution,
did you see it coming that you're going to get involved in the business, or you bought it for a retirement?
I had no idea. Even I didn't know so many olive trees, and they tell me what you're going to do with all this olive, and then I had to do oil, and then I had to do something with it.
Sure.
So that may be destiny, is interesting, and that's why I got involved, and that's why I got very disturbed of the methodology of what's happening in our agriculture.
When you actually saw it firsthand.
I saw. You always know about it, but when you put your hands into it, and deeper you go, more scary it's become.
What is really the big problem that you noticed?
I noticed two. First is all the chemical we use to grow plants is completely insane, and after is all the chain, of a product that's from the time that is grown all the way to your mouth. I would say is like an insane chain of events that's happened that are, I think, not acceptable, and that we can really change with the technology that exists today.
All right.
So if I go a little bit into it, I take a salad. It's going to be now in Dubai. So obviously this salad going to be made in, maybe in Egypt or in Spain. Then it's going to take the plane. It's going to go to the store. It's going to go to your fridge. And if this couple of nights you don't go to restaurant, then you're going to eat it finally. And along the way is I think it's 60% of the food is wasted.
60% of the nutritions, right, and the value that you get out of food.
Not even that.
Or the actual food.
Yeah, if you produce 10 salad in Spain, the one that's going to be really eaten at the end is 4.
Oh, right.
Along the chain, they're going to be wasted. They're going to be, bad, and even at the end in your fridge, they're going to be. You're not going to eat it because it's too old or something like that. And nutrition value, that's another thing that we can as well speak about.
All right.
Yeah. So I think when I created Natufia was really, for that, to kind of close the gap, and not with all the product, but I think with a certain number of products, like leafy green, small tomatoes, this type of things, people can grow those things home with the technology that we developed. And from that, exactly, they can get the full amount of vitamins, they can get something fresh, and they can reduce the impact on global warming and everything dramatically by doing that.
So let's just bring closer the actual product to the audience and to bring the concept closer to them. Like, what are we talking about actually? What is the product that you're making?
So what Natufia did, we developed really a technology that's helped people to grow food, vegetables automatically home. And out of that, we developed our first product that we call the Natufia Kitchen Garden, what is a fridge size, where you take a little seed pod and you just put it in the machine, and the machine will grow it to a full-size salad, cilantro, kale, whatever you want, without almost human interaction.
So basically you're growing your vegetables and fruits in your kitchen automatically
Exactly.
on your own,
Exactly.
organically as well.
Exactly. It's like you have a garden,
So
but
basically,
you have it
the-
inside your home.
and I can grow it in my apartment if I
You
want.
can grow it in your apartment. Exactly.
It doesn't rely on any outside factors
No.
like sun.
Nothing. Just you need electricity, you need water, and the machine does all the rest for you. You just need about, let's say less than 1 square meter of space to have it. And from a machine like that, you grow, let's say 2 salads per day.
What is really the
family.
impact of using such food production to the world?
I think it's huge, It's huge because, like I said, it's a very large problem. I mean, we speak about global warming, so that is due a lot to deforestation. We're cutting 10 million hectares per year.
10 million hectare.
10 million hectares per year. Just to give you an idea, France has 15 million hectares of forest. So in 1.5 years, we cut all the forest in France every year. And why we cut all this is for agriculture. Because people eat meat, because people, eat a lot of, wheat, vegetable, and this type of things. And all this, with our technology, we can really cut it. We can cut it that, people with this 1 or 2 square meter they will use home, they can completely offset a big part of it,
I don't think that a lot of people understand actually how does cutting of woods has anything to do with food.
No, because
How
that I
does it
think-
work? Like, can you unpack that for us? Like, if they're cutting woods, why are that? First of all, how is that impacting global warming? What does that have to do with food at all?
Okay. And I think, that's how we can take the problem, I mean, global warming is, because the climate become warmer because we don't absorb, we release too much CO2 compared to what we transform in oxygen. So who does that is the trees. The trees do most of the work, So if you start to cut forest, obviously a lot of CO2 are not, taken and is released in the atmosphere instead of taken to the trees. And why do we cut trees? Mostly it's for agriculture purpose. Okay, to grow meat. I mean, to cows, whatever type of meat, and wheat and all this type of things. And so that's the main point. Why is that? So if people will start to change the food habit, and everybody feels global warming, what I can do about it?
Sure.
So of course, if you change your food habit and you start to eat, more vegetables and less meat, you will impact deforestation on quite a big scale, actually. But of course, vegetable is expensive. Is not easily available, or is not
especially organic or high
especially
quality.
organic. And honestly, yes, it's easier to to pick up something from the fridge, like a steak, a piece of cheese, of something, and just put it in the oven, and that's it. But if you will have this this nice vegetables right away easily in front of you, I think people will be able to change their habits as well in this level.
And hydroponics gardens have been around for some time now.
A lot of time, yes. Hydroponic, I mean, they start that even in Egypt time,
All right.
what they say. It's a very old technology, and it's really came back in the 60s. Big time with NASA as well, when it was the space time, people started to think back about that. And the principle of hydroponic, for people who don't know what it is that you grow plant without ground. Okay, so a plant, what it does is has roots, and these roots go through the ground, and from the ground they take what they need in terms of minerals. So they will take iron, potassium, whatever. And what we do with hydroponic, we enrich the water, and we flow the water through the roots of the plants, and the roots from this water, they will take what they need in terms of nutrients.
How is that better than growing it in the ground?
It's better different way, because then you don't need to use the ground. Okay, so it's less space.
All right.
And for us, we figure out that people really like the idea of gardening, but if they have to get their hands dirty, if they have to manage it, this is something they're not ready to do. And hydroponic make you do that on a very clean way.
All right.
if it's automatized.
So where was that big opportunity or the gap that you noticed when you decided to involve in the industry that's been around for ages? What was the opportunity, the gap that you noticed to step in?
I think we saw the opportunity because actually it's something that exists for some time, but the technology today, because of LED light, is make it possible to do it home. Before it was big lamp that would give a lot of heat and you had to do that in big space. Now with LED light that don't give heat, you can do that in very reduced space. And of course with the computer, different PCBs, you can, and AI as well, you can put a lot of algorithm to automatize the system of growing this plant. So I think on the last few years we have this technology where we don't have to do it in a big scale, but we can give that to everybody. Like I said, like computer before used to be big system for companies. Now everybody can have a personal computer and a phone.
And that is, we discussed earlier, and you explained me how sophisticated it is to actually put the right blend of nutrients to water, right? And technology is helping you with that. Did you develop the technology internally? And how was the whole process from coming up with the whole concept to actually finalizing the product?
So this is very, hydroponic is a very nice technology because you can grow very, let's say easily and cleanly and everything. The point is it has to be very precise. And it's really take a lot of time it's require a lot of time. So what we did at Natufia, and really that's the purpose of Natufia, we automatized the system. Okay, so our system analyzed the water quality, and according to that, he will put the amount of nutrients, manage the acidity of the water, and create the perfect liquid solution for the plant. And when the computer arrived to that, then he will start to water the plant and give what they need. And for that, we did a lot of studies, not only for the plant, but how the plant behave together. Because in a big farm, you will specialize into doing lettuce, for example. But at home, people want lettuce, they want cilantro, they want cherry tomatoes, chilies, and you need to make sure that the solution you make is good for everybody. And that's all the algorithm and the study we did over the years. Actually, we took 3.5 years only doing R&D without releasing any product. Exactly
3.5 years of doing R&D.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the main purpose first. We wanted something that works to make food, and food that is good and full of vitamins. That was the purpose as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You recently moved your manufacturing and operations to Saudi, right?
That's right. Yes.
How that happened?
That was a big move, actually. Yes, because we went from the ice of Estonia to the middle of the desert. Actually, it's happened because we had the opportunity from KAUST, what is the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. When we were raising our round of investment 1.5 years ago, we met them, and beside the investment they made in a company, they offer us to have access to the university lab, professors, to be on campus to do that. And like I said, big part of Natufia is the technology we developed, and for that we got very interested because we want to advance in the technology we develop. And even just to give an example, right now we develop with them to inject bacteria, temp of bacteria, in the roots to make even the plant in better health and everything on a natural way. We even work on a project to grow food in space, so that's opened us a lot of door in terms of the research and development, what is the base of Natufia as well.
When I talk about the region, how good is the region for you, and how big is the opportunity, and what's your plans for later on?
So I think in the business we are just at the beginning of this era, and the region is huge because the region doesn't grow food. They grow food a little bit in the winter, but they need to grow food, and that's a way that we can bring it to the people. So it's even a point of I would say national security for people to be able to grow food home.
Your plans for the future?
So plans for the future, near future, we have our first factory that will be completed by the end of this year. We will have a first Saudi-made product that will come out in January next year. And our focus will be in the region and in the US market, where we already have a client, or a lot of clients as well. So this is our focus. And after we go Europe, and after we go to Asia.
Look, Gregory, I think you're onto something amazing, and that the whole industry that you're tackling is something that is just going to become more and more important as we go forward. And I think it's really important to spread awareness of it, because not a lot of people, including myself, to be completely honest, are aware really of the impact that we have on the future of this planet, really, and what we can do.
And I think you're right. People don't understand the consequences of what they eat on a global scales. But I think people don't understand what they do for themselves as well. So the plant we grow, for example, we figure out during our studies that when you grow plant in our fridge and you consume them right away, the amount of vitamin you get, we have like 400% C vitamin more, 250% D vitamin, because you eat those fresh. And people don't understand yet. So you do good for the planet is one part, but also for your own health. And I think that people will start to be aware of it.
But probably that's a better angle to start from when it comes to education. To stop eating just to, get the hunger out. Start eating actually to live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I think this is where people are more interested, yes, about themselves usually, and that's what we do.
We should play on ego.
Yeah, you should play on ego. So help yourself, and then you will not bother by the same meaning.
Gregory, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me here. It was
really a pleasure. Good luck. I hope we're going to speak soon again about some of your progress that you're making.
Yeah, so I think we will be back soon. We have new product coming up, so it will be interesting to discuss them as soon as they come.
Great. Good luck, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron, for staying. Stay tuned. There's another episode coming out soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.